The Honor 9 is a fantastic affordable flagship with a beautiful design, fast performance and dependable all-day battery life. At this price point, the biggest thing you'll miss from more expensive handsets is a reliable low-light camera. The Honor 9 could be the best smartphone at less than $450. Discover it in depth in that video. The Honor 9 is so rock solid and familiar it basically feels like a gutted Honor 8 with an updated specs sheet and front-facing fingerprint scanner. It delivers a familiar design, software experience, hardware and more, and yet somehow, still ends up being an exciting phone. That's because Honor has remained remarkably gimmick-free over the years, so while other companies have gone chasing the next big thing, Honor has instead chosen to focus on the core smartphone experience. The upshot of a distilled smartphone is that Honor has managed to keep its prices down in the process. The Honor 9 continues that tradition, starting at €449 in Europe, although most countries currently have offers up where either 379 livres or €429 will get you the 64GB Honor 9 and a Honor Band 3 fitness tracker. No matter what you pay though, you'll be getting a phone packing pretty high-end specs, essentially the same as those found in the Huawei Mate 9 and P10, but for a lot less than most other high-end phones. Though beautiful, the Honor 9's glass sandwich design is hardly innovative. Two pieces of glass and a metal frame were very cool 7 years ago on the iPhone 4, but those are just not enough for a premium feel or look nowadays. Luckily the Honor 9 puts a twist on the familiar shape for a unique design once again. Glacier gray, sapphire blue, or midnight black, the Honor 9 is seamlessly painted in the respective hue, with the paint layer sitting under the glass panels. The front glass is business as usual, a 2.5D shaped piece, reportedly Gorilla Glass 3, shielding the 5.15-inch display from scratches. The metal frame is sandblasted and has a matte finish. It ends with a chamfer on both the front and back where it meets the glass. The chamfers are glossy and serve as a great visual transition from the metal frame to the glass panels. The 3D curved glass on the back is one of the Honor 9's key design features and perhaps even the highlight here. The fingerprint-like texture carved into the glass via a photo etching process is what makes the Honor 9 stand out from the rest of the glass sandwich group of phones. The frame sort of helps the grip, but it's not enough. The Honor 9 is slippery in hand, and you have to be careful. Sure, it feels premium, high-end, well-crafted, and with a solid build, props for those. But the Honor 9 is one of the most slippery devices we have ever handled. It will slide and fall from any surface that's not perfectly flat. This has happened twice already. We suggest snapping the provided case to avoid falls from places, yes, even desks, where any other phone would stay still. On the specifications side, the Honor 9 comes with a 5.15-inch display with 1920 by 1080 pixels resolution. The Honor 9 runs with EMUI 5.1 built on top of Android 7.0 Nougat. It is boasted by the Huawei homemade processor the Kirin 960 octa-core with 4 2.4 GHz and 4 other 1.8 GHz cores. The Honor 9 comes with 4 GB of RAM in standard and 6 GB in some mainland European countries. It has a 12-megapixel RGB plus 20-megapixel monochrome dual-lens technology camera on the back and a 8-megapixel front camera. The Honor 9 has a fingerprint scanner and is equipped with USB Type-C connector. To finish with the specifications, the Honor 9 has a dual nano SIM or nano SIM plus micro SD support. Its battery has a capacity of 3200 mAh with quick charging feature. The device comes in various colors, glacier gray, sapphire blue, and midnight black. Our first impressions of the screen were quite good. Compared to the Honor 8, the display of the 9 has a slightly warmer tone to it, which is nice, despite having seemingly the same resolution and screen technology. 1920 by 1080 pixels still serves this 5.15-inch screen well, showing good depth and color range in our time with the device. Tools to tweak the colors are still available too, in the form of 3 preset modes, default, warm, and cold, as well as a palette to shift the colors on. With a 3200 mAh powering efficient internals and a relatively small display, it was no surprise to see the Honor 9 comfortably getting through a full day on a single charge. On lighter days, the phone routinely got me through a full day of use with more than 50% charge remaining. A relatively small display plus a relatively large battery team up for enviable longevity. When I was able to deplete the Honor 9's battery before bedtime, it was only with much heavier use. Over the course of a full, busy day with 14 hours off the charger and plenty of media streaming over Wi-Fi and LTE, we were able to eke out between 4.5 and 5 hours of screen on time. Finally, while it's disappointing to see the Honor 9 missing out on Huawei's supercharged tech, which rivals OnePlus's Dash Charge in terms of speed, I really didn't find myself missing the extra charging speed on a regular basis. For a phone of this class and battery capacity, the bundled 9V, 2A quick charger, basically equivalent to Qualcomm Quick Charge 2, was more than sufficient for speedy refills to the 50% mark, and slightly less speedy top-ups to full. The Honor 9 runs on the latest EMUI ROM. It is now up to version 5.1. groomed to accompany Huawei's new lineup. The OS is based on Android 7 Nougat, and has been refreshed in a number of ways. Most of the EMUI 5.1 upgrades reside under the hood and offer boosts in various performance aspects. There are some relatively simple things, like improved mistouch detection and higher touch accuracy, better RAM management, better dictation algorithms, and moments, for more convenient photo organizing. There are a few major new background systems put in place. The magazine unlock style for the lock screen is here to stay. It greets you with a different wallpaper every time you wake up the device. New ones are downloaded when you connect to Wi-Fi, and there's an option to delete ones which are older than 3 months. You can also quickly start the camera by a double press of the volume down button, with the option to take a snap right away. If you opt for a fingerprint unlock method, you probably won't be seeing much of the lock screen anyway. Almost a shame, considering all the effort that Huawei has put into making it unique. Still, the reader is blazing fast and using it is a no-brainer. On top of the usual all apps on the home screen's approach, EMUI 5.1 gives you the option to pick the standard Android two-tiered interface with home screens for your most used apps and an app drawer for all of them. App Twins for multiple instances of a single application is available on the Honor 9, but in its current state the feature only works with Facebook and WhatsApp. EMUI 5.1 has theme support, of course. The theme store offers a wide selection and some really artsy options that fit in well with the general high design image of the Honor 9. Of course, you can always keep things simple and only customize the wallpaper and possibly transition animations. The notification area is a 50-50 mix between stock Nougat and emotion. Huawei has tweaked the look of the quick toggles and added the auto brightness switch, which Google so stubbornly refuses to keep in plain sight. The notifications themselves look just like the pixels. The task switcher is rather straightforward, but again with added functionality over Google's. Apps in the Rolodex can be locked by tapping on the padlock icon, so killing all apps will spare the locked ones. The End All button is readily available too, not up in the right corner as Google does it. There are a few other interesting tweaks you can apply to the status bar. For example, notification icons can be replaced by a simple numerical counter. You also have control over whether the notification LED and display should react to a new notification. The Honor 9 features granular notifications control. Huawei had that even before it was a part of Android itself. You can control which apps can send you the 3 types of available notifications, the shade notifications, the lock screen notifications and the banner-style notifications. Last, but not least, there is a dedicated menu for controlling crucial permission on a per-app basis. It's a great addition, since you don't want a random app ignoring the system's attempts to optimize its power consumption, or drawing over other applications. While these are options accessible from the settings menu, Most of them are also featured in the Phone Manager app. There you'll also find a one-touch optimization button. A virus scanner powered by Avast is on board as well. There are power-saving modes with granular settings, too. You can also enable the so-called floating dock. It's a virtual key you can move anywhere on the screen, allowing you to expand it to the primary Android keys, back, home, task switcher, lock and close all running apps. It will help you control your phone with just one hand. There are other interesting alternative controls as well, like the ability to map the buttons on your headphones to various actions. Motion control also plays a significant role on the Honor 9 like it did on previous Huawei models. There are flip gestures, as well as picking up, tilting and even things like knuckle detection and drawing. All of those are extensively customizable to your liking. You can start recording a video of your interaction with the UI by the intuitive double knock with two knuckles, while drawing an S with a single knuckle launches the scrolling screenshot. The latter is available from the regular power, volume down shortcut. Finally, there is a voice control option. The device is always listening for a trigger word when locked, and then you can control it with voice commands. For certain scenarios, like in car use, you can enable a simple home screen mode, which features large tiles for easy tapping. It's not particularly consistent, though, offering a simpler version of some menus, but not others. The dialer is the same size as in regular mode. In all fairness, it's fairly oversized to begin with. The Honor 9, surprise, employs the same Kirin 960 chip found inside the P10 and Mate 9. It is developed in-house by Huawei's chipmaker HiSilicon and has been around for some time now. Even with a few months of history behind it, the Kirin 960 is still one of the most powerful smartphone chips, and we are glad to welcome it in our testing lab once again. Most of the Honor 9 models come with 6 GB of RAM, great for multitasking. The main processor within the chipset consists of a quad-core Cortex, a 73 cluster clocked at 2.4 GHz, plus a quad-core array of the familiar Cortex of 53 cores, ticking at 1.8 GHz. The Cortex A73s boast a 30% power efficiency compared to the previous A72 design, while delivering improved performance at the same time. We kick off the benchmark routine with some CPU-only loads in Geekbench. A single A73 core performance is on par with the new S8 series and very close to the new Cryo 280 cores by Qualcomm. But it's the multi-core tests where the 4 A73 units really shine and show as big potential as the latest Snapdragon and Exynos processors. On the subject of performance, the company indicates that they will be looking to the newest Kirin processors, as well as later iterations of EMUI to make a huge difference in performance. EMUI 5.1 comes with some great pre-installed apps from Multimedia. On the screen, you can discover screenshots of the video player and the music player coming with the Honor 9. The video player is rather basic. It still gets the job done, but the only extra features you really get are playback speed and a hovering windowed mode. The Honor 9 has quite stylish music app pre-installed. It offers 4 default playlists, songs, artists, albums, folders. You can create your playlists, too. The background of the app changes dynamically to match the album art, which is a nice little touch. The now playing screen is pretty standard. It offers album art and lyrics. If you're especially into lyrics, you can have them overlaid on top of the home screen. Huawei has amped up the audio reputation of the Honor 9 by partnering with Monster, the headphone manufacturer, to make the Honor Purity Equalizer. The Honor 9's camera situation is a bit of a mixed bag. The software and image processing is pretty good, and dynamic range is typically great, as I've come to expect from Huawei's cameras. But to perform well in low light, a phone camera needs large pixels, a bright aperture or OIS, and the Honor 9 has none of these things. In hardware terms, you're dealing with 2 sensors, a 12-megapixel RGB sensor with 1.25 micron pixels behind and 2.2 focal aperture, and a 20-megapixel monochrome sensor, used for capturing fine detail, with 1.1 micron pixels, also behind a 2.2 focal lens. As we've already noted, there's no OIS to be found in either camera. As a result, predictably, low light performance suffers compared to the handful of discounted 2016 flagships you might find around the same price points as the Honor 9. Once you start shooting in auto mode in dim indoor conditions, or outside by street light, chroma noise quickly decimates your images. There is a dedicated low-light shooting mode, however this is largely useless without a smartphone tripod. That said, if you do have a tripod to hand, you'll get some pretty great long exposures. Curiously, the front-facing camera, an 8-megapixel unit behind a brighter 2.0 focal lens, seemed to outperform the main pair of cameras, with quick captures and a decent amount of detail, even in precarious indoor lighting. The Honor 9 brings some fun camera features to the table, but low-light results are mixed at best. So, if you pick up an Honor 9, be prepared for mixed results in low light. The Honor 9 is a well-executed project, which in spite of the lack of a massive PR campaign, has everything needed to succeed and prevail on the market. We can't really figure out Huawei's strategy for the Honor brand yet again, but we don't mind having such a thoughtful all-rounder once in a while. The Honor 9 is mostly sold online via the VMall eShop run by Huawei. Its official price at launch is €429 or 379 livres sterling, and thus the Honor 9 falls right in the upper mid-range class. But don't let the low price fool you, it's a flagship smartphone by the book, which steps on a lot of headliners' toes. The latest Honor has one of the best chipsets currently available, the Kirin 960, and Huawei didn't skimp on RAM either. There are a good 6 GB at your disposal. But the chip is not only powerful, but also energy efficient. Coupled with top-notch software optimizations, the Honor 9 scored excellently on battery endurance. Huawei is the company to make the dual-camera setups the next big thing on the smartphones, so the expectations were sky-high for the Honor 9. Even though there are no Leica filters to be found, the Honor 9 offers even more features than the widely advertised P10. In addition to the great color and monochrome shots, you also get improved portraits, variable aperture, and even video recording with the option for bokeh effects. The selfies turned out great even though the selfie portrait mode is disappointing. The Honor 9th of may be supposed to boost Huawei's online presence, but it's much more than that. Flagship killer comes in mind, an all-rounder that OnePlus invented, but lately failed to deliver. The Honor 9th of may have its ups and its downs, but the latter are easily forgiven by the low price tag. At the end of the day, the Honor 9 can certainly feel a bit rough around the edges, but that's strictly figuratively speaking. It's one of the most slippery phones out there, but this is offset by the stunning looks. We noticed some performance throttling, but in real life it will probably go unnoticed thanks to the snappy chipset, which has plenty of reserves. The camera has a few gimmicky sides, but it delivers right where it's important. The Honor 9 is probably not a flagship killer, but it's certainly flagship grade. So though it may not be getting the attention it deserves, it is a solid recommendation in our books. What do you think of the new Honor 9 revealed by Honor? Tell us in comments. To discover more Android and Honor related content, don't hesitate to subscribe to the S Sorrels channel.